it's a civil or county court, it's not a court. I don't mean the fact that, oh, it's not a court. It's actually not a court. The judge isn't on his oath, which comes from common law. So that building may be a court. There may be people in fancy dress in that building. It's not actually a court, and you have to actually comprehend that and know that when you go in, because once you truly know that isn't a court, then everything that's going on in there is contractual, and you can put contractual obligations on the other parties in that room or in that enterprise that they're doing. Halsbury's, basically it states, I paraphrased it. If you read the document, it's very large. So I paraphrased it and basically stated to the judge that Halsbury's Administrative Law 2011 states that these courts are not basically operating inside the law, and no Act of Parliament can legitimise them. And so the judge said, and it says that in Halsbury's. And I said, yeah. And he said, we might have problems. I said, why do you have got problems? Because all of you are causing me to suffer a tort. Everybody in this room, including the guy who opened the door. You've all caused me to suffer a tort. So I will cause you to suffer a commercial lien. Anyway, and then when the judge did come out after, he was a good judge, and the recordings on FMOTL of the incident. And I said to him words around he came out and said, you might be right and I might be wrong, and I might end up locked up one day, but basically this is the status quo, so that's what I'm upholding. And because he knows the score, in the end he's got no authority. So. Years ago I was in prison with the guy who was in for 7 years. He was a solicitor and he had 7 years for stealing the public's money, legal aid. When I got out of prison I got reintroduced to him, and I thought he could help us out with legal work, doing lawful work, doing what we're doing now. Anyway, he ended up being a parasite and me and him fell out. So, cut long story short, he took me to court for saying I owed him £6,000, but I'd already paid him £4,000 for some work, and I wasn't prepared to pay him any more. Anyway, so he took me to court, and he got a rubber stamping clown, a county court judge, to rubber stamp it for him, and he then went and got a local group of solicitors to send around bailiffs around to our place. Now, these bailiffs came round and I issued them a document. I said, go away, who are you, what do you want, and is your business lawful? And if you do, I'll contract with you. And the bailiffs went off, and they came back and they threw a stick over the wall at me with a large lump of wood with an envelope on the front. So when we opened up the envelope, we found out it would come from the local solicitors. So off we went down there to see why they're sending people around our house chucking pieces of wood at us. So off we went down to the solicitors, and when we got in there, start talking to the receptionist, why are you sending people around to my house throwing pieces of wood? And this chap came out, and I thought I recognised him, this chap came out and said, who what? And I said, who what? What do you mean who what? Yeah? So we explained to him, people have been throwing wood at us. So he then started shouting at the receptionist, saying, call the police, call the police. So I said, alright, call the police, I want the police to come, because you guys have been around my house and throwing pieces of wood at me. So I said, okay, I'll wait for you I'll wait over the pub over the road for the police to turn up. So over the road we go, and wait for the police. About half an hour later, all these coppers buzzing around, and they're buzzing around and they haven't sort of come out, so I go, wait, I think it's me you want over here. So, what's the matter? Oh, so, yeah, you're under arrest. Well, I'm under arrest. So I'm under arrest, so I'm taken off down the police station, and I'm locked up for 10 hours. So, then they take me for interview. And they said, right, you're in the local solicitor's office with a piece of wood, threatening them, swearing at him. He's written a statement. So I said, he's written a statement to this effect, he's a solicitor. And he said, yeah. I said, well, I didn't swear and I didn't threaten him. Oh, he says you have, and he's written a statement. So I said, well, he's guilty of perjury and the Perjury Act then, so because we've got a tape recording of the whole incident. I said, my wife was taping it. And he said, why didn't you tell us? I said, you didn't ask. You see, these meetings that they have, they're CESCAV trust meetings. So this is to do with salvage and stuff, yeah? That's why up to the age of 7 you're called master. You know, well, if you're a boy, you're a master. and then at the age of 7, if the vessel hasn't been claimed, then the state claim it. And so, you know, this is why people have registered their children, which they shouldn't do, if really. They can always, as long as they can still claim them back before the age of 7. So. I mean, this is what I say. It isn't much of a trust, is it? If it was a good trust, then they'd trust you enough to tell you it was a trust meeting and not a court. So there is no trust. Why go through the nonsense of a trust meeting? You thought you were in there for a court hearing, didn't you? But you weren't. So this isn't a court. You're not a judge because you're not on your oath of office today. So this case shouldn't be here. But as you have called me into this room, you will then suffer the consequences. I had a council tax, had a hearing. So what I do when I go to the hearing, when they try to serve papers on you, I serve papers on them. So I go to the prosecutor and say, hi, yeah, you want to give me them papers? Okay, I want to give you this. And it states basically that this is an unlawful administrative hearing. I'm informing you it is, and if you want to go into that arena, then I'm happy to go in, but it's going to cost you £50,000 on contract. And then if they go in, that's it. Then you've got the bill of obligation ready for your commercial lien. So I've done that with this chap, and I knew his home address, and so I sent the stuff to his home address. Of course, the police came around and arrested me for it. You know, so you shouldn't know his home address. Well, he knows my home address. Why shouldn't I know his home address? You know. So anyway, off to the police station, and so quite a long interview. And I explained to them. They said these documents look real. I said they are real. You know, and there we are. But they bailed me for a month. So they bailed me for a month, and I forgot to answer the bail, and which I never normally would have done. But I realised I hadn't done anything wrong, so you know, I didn't. I forgot to answer the bail. So they rang us up, and they said, "You haven't answered the bail." So I said, "More important things to do. You know, what do you want me for?" "Oh well, you know, we want to see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock." "Okay, I'll come then." So I got thinking, I thought, I'll send them a contract. So I sent them exactly the same contract as what they'd arrested me for. You know, as I sent to the prosecutor, I gave exactly the same contract to the police, and we faxed it through. I said, if you've got until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning to cancel it, you know, hard copy to follow. And they hadn't cancelled it in the morning. I rang them up and they said they still wanted me over. They said, "Oh, okay." So we went over there, and of course I'm thinking, well, I've given them now exactly what they'd arrested me for. So you know, and when we got over there, the police didn't want to know. The police basically very sort of shifty and furtive, and said it was going to be different, but we've had to give all your contract to our legal team, and our legal team have said that you're not charged, you're not on bail, and they don't know what to do it. So, fine. I told you that the first time when you come round. You know what I mean? But it's taken this to get some remedy out of you. But so please, we need good police officers. But you must realise when you're not arresting or talking to people in law, you're in contract. In 1983, a chap, I had window cleaning round, and this chap borrowed some ladders off me, some big aluminium ladders while I was away in Spain, and when I came back, he'd sold them or whatever, but he avoided me like the plague, and I got rather annoyed in the end, so I went round his house, and I got in through his window, and I took all his video equipment, his old, in them days, video equipment and his stereo and things, and just loaded him in the car, broad daylight, and the police got called, and I got arrested, but I knew even though I was a young man, I knew that this was right. He's got some of mine, I got some of his. And I left a note behind saying, I've taken your stereo and that. I'll give it you back when you give me the ladders back. So the police arrested me and said it's burglary. I said, it's not burglary. It's burglary is entering the premises as a trespasser with intent. And I haven't got no intent. Intent to do what? Intent to just keep hold of his goods until he gives me mine back. And I had a solicitor, good solicitor in them days, and he came down and he agreed with me. He said, no, it's a lien. So he said to me, it's a lien. And of course, I was only in 1983, I was only 21. I stuck that word in my head. And he said, yeah, if someone's got your glasses, you can take theirs. And hold them as hostage until he gives them back. So I thought, oh, brilliant. So I kept that in mind, that I was doing a lawful action. And then in later years, in 1990 I think it was, I was doing a job helping my friend run a bakery had gone bankrupt, and we were just getting rid of all the surplus stock for the liquidators. For the Inland Revenue, and then they refused to pay us our last wages, which was about 400 quid. He said, "Oh, you can have it when the estate's been sold, like sorted." So I said, "No, we want the money now." And he said, "No." So of course we had the keys. I went down there at night, pulled up, got these 2 huge Welsh dresses at the bakery, put them back in the van, took them to Council Garage up in the estate,
Of course, everyone had seen us, so I got arrested for burglary. No, not a burglary, you know, I've taken these goods as a lien, where are they? None of your business. And they again proved right. I was given the £420 and I gave them the Welsh dressers.
View the world down a barrel of an AK, window of a big plane, radio in Mayday. Or in a van with your 92nd payday. Crash it on a freeway, end up with a sentence and an X-ray. It all leads back to money and respect.